This your man Mike Epps, and you on the Crisco Kidd block party.
All right,
Crisco, what up, baby?
What's up, Mr. Mike Epps?
What's going down?
I feel like I'm subpar for the interview now, man.
Hey, man, I got to do it, man. Every time I got to do it, man.
Already.
Crisco Kidd was a friend of mine.
For sure. I like to start off doing it's like my icebreaker challenge in the back. So if you can look, I used to own a restaurant. We had to shut down because of COVID, but this was hanging in the restaurant. I got 8 legends living and that have passed on behind me. Mike Epps, can you identify all 8 people on the famous Churros painting?
Yeah, if you
we'll start up here.
Martin Luther King.
There we go. We're going to take it right down below.
Bruce Lee,
that is right. 2 for 2. Let's start on this side over here. At the very top, I'll give you a hint. Lead singer of a legendary rock band. He is
Queen.
Murphy, that is right. There we go.
Murphy, yeah.
Down below, Mexican comedian actor. 3 seconds. 3.
Lucy Ricardo.
No. No, that is Cantinflas. All right.
Yeah.
Going back to this side, bottom on this side, who we got?
Tupac.
You already know. Above, right here. Iconic Mexican singer. Still living, but a legend.
Willie Colon.
It is actually Vicente Fernandez. Fernandez. It's okay. Last column here. We'll start with the bottom.
Marilyn Monroe.
There we go. Norma Jean. And at the very top,
Bob Marley.
There we go.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Those 2 Spanish people.
Yeah.
You're going to get black people every time with them.
That's pretty much how it's been. Mike Epps, before we jump into the hip hop party that's streaming everywhere October 9th, I do want to ask you this question though. If you were going to put 8 hip hop legends on your wall in your own personal canvas, who would it be?
Tupac, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Nas, KRS-One, Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Scarface.
Okay, there we go. H-Town.
And I gotta go with
the last slot.
E40.
40 water. There it is, man. That's a legendary wall right there. And I noticed you put some of the people that are in Hip Hop Party, by the way, a virtual streaming event that you are hosting. What makes those artists so special, not only that you would put on the wall, but that are a part of the Hip Hop Party going down?
You know what? I was raised by those artists. I was taught how to walk, how to dress, how to talk by Rakim and all of them, man. That music raised us. You know what I mean? So it means so much to me, man. Comedy and music has always bridged together. You know?
Yep.
And I consider myself a hip-hop comic. Like you a hip-hop DJ. Right. So I think hip-hop is in all of us, and it means a lot, man, to be able to pull all these guys together, man, and get them on one stage and let them perform. You know, because a lot of people, I mean, we thank God for Verzuz. Verzuz was beautiful. But a lot of people didn't want to do it. So this is a different platform for them to come in.
Why do you think that's an interesting point? Because there are artists that have turned them down, or they didn't like who they were kind of being paired against. What do you think? Is that all ego driven? Like they don't feel like somebody's at their caliber, like at their catalog, or instead of just celebrating music and hip hop, kind of put the ego aside?
Well, I mean, it's very entertaining to watch them go to be versus each other.
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? It brings that extra excitement. But on the other hand, some people don't want to be versus nobody. They're like, why come I just can't perform?
Right.
Why do I have to perform looking at him like, check this song out, you know? maybe they didn't want to do that part of it. So
what about comedy? How come we're not really seeing the comedy verses? Is it too hard to do? Or if you had maybe 3 minutes, you got to kind of throw your the punchlines or however your comedy presentation is. How come we haven't really seen the comedy verses?
I mean, the only comedy verses you can do is talking about each other.
Okay.
Or you can do movie for movie, hit for hit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Line after line, your favorite clip from a movie versus another favorite clip from a movie. Or even stand-up specials. I'm just wondering why we can't get that. Can you make that happen, Mike?
I'm going to try to make it happen, man.
For sure. Look, Hip Hop Party, I know one of the things that's a lot of people excited about is just the history, it's the culture, it's the stories that are going to be told, throughout the special here. What are some of the stories that you were either surprised to hear that you didn't know, or that the public that's about to watch this spectacular event, what's going to be the story that may surprise a lot of people about some of these classic, legendary artists?
That they still looking good and they still rapping like they did in the 80s.
Okay.
And they are just as explosive now as they was when they were out. I mean, KRS-One, the song that he did, talking about police brutality and all of that right now, it was crazy, man.
Isn't it crazy how the stuff that KRS-One has been talking about for 20, 30 years, we're still facing today?
I mean, hip hop has always been, to me, ahead of the game. It's always talked about injustice from the beginning. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know what I mean? You listen to Grandmaster Flash, he was talking about injustice then. That was in the 70s.
Don't push him because he's close to the edge. You know what I mean? It's like it's always been there.
Yeah, that ain't nothing new, and so is comedy. Richard Pryor talked about police brutality in his comedy in the 60s. So, I mean, it's always been a direct connection with music and entertainment. Reality has. Right.
Speaking of Richard Pryor, and I'm only bringing this up because you brought it up, and I seen your Instagram post the other day. And I know for about 5 years, people have been expecting that movie or the biopic to happen. I know there's been different production companies kind of in talk, but is there any movement forward with this film or anything?
No. I think, it just wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? And it was always something with it, and it just didn't happen. And it's cool. Maybe his story ain't to be told. Maybe not right now, There's always,
Yeah.
It was always skeptical about a comedian playing a comedian anyway. You know what I mean? So, it wasn't meant to be. And I leave it at that. Maybe it would have been bad, and I'm like, maybe I dodged the bullet.
That's a very good point, because I know you have stated that you're focused on being Mike Epps and doing Mike Epps at the moment, and sometimes it could take away from what you're doing.
Yeah.
But with that being said, when people look, let's say 10 years down the line, let's say 20, let's say 30 years down the line, what do you think, or what pieces of your art do you think people are going to look at like, this is Mike Epps, we got to do a movie on Mike Epps' life?
You know what? I ain't even thinking that far down the head. I'm living in the present right now, and I'm trying to enjoy my life. I don't want to see the motherfucker that's going to do my life. I don't even want to see his little ass right. He probably in some school right now getting kicked out of school or some shit.
He doing some virtual learning right now, just like this with his teacher right now.
Yeah. He's on some bullshit,
For sure. Hey, man, we got Mike Epps with us, Hip Hop Party, October 9th. You can stream that, get your tickets right now. I want to tell you that I appreciate the movie Last Black Man in San Francisco. Yeah. That movie right there, I saw that maybe a couple months ago during COVID-19, during our quarantine. I had a chance to check up on a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, I caught the special that I actually saw you perform live at the Orpheum in LA, like in 2014 or 15. I was there. And so for me to go back and watch it on TV gave me a whole nother like appreciation of you. Sometimes you forget how when you're watching a comedy live and you go back and watch it on screen, man. So I know you got Dolomite out right now. There was some kind of talk if there's going to be another Friday coming out soon. So much going on, man. But how do you balance everything? What's your key to handling everything, man, from stand-up to the movies? How do you do it?
I mean, you know, man, I've been doing it for 20-some years. I just learned how to juggle it. You know, over time, you learn how to turn the buttons on and off. Yeah. You know what I mean? After you be in the business for so long, you just learn how to do it. You know, it's automatic. You're a machine. You turn into a machine. Your mind, your body, your soul, you turn into the work machine that you made yourself. So
yeah. But during COVID-19, how's the maintenance been on the machine, man?
I'm still creating, man. I ain't gonna never stop creating. You know what I mean? I can never stop creating. You know, and that was the purpose of doing this Mike Epps Hip Hop Party, so that I could continue to create.
What's next after the Hip Hop Party? Because, you know, a lot of comedians, they turn actor, then they go producer or director. Mm-hmm. Are we going to see more Mike Epps directed kind of projects kind of coming out? Is that kind of in your evolution, or you just going to stay and doing what you do masterfully well right now?
Yeah. I don't do no directing. I leave that to somebody else, you know. Yeah. That's not my thing.
For sure. If you were going to jump in that arena, would you be more likely to call an Eddie Murphy, an Ice Cube, or anyone who you have worked in? Who would be that go-to, or would you have to have all on the phone to go ahead and make sure that this is going to be the best film that you could ever put together? Best project?
I mean, you know, when that time comes, ain't no telling who I'm going to call. You know what I'm saying?
For sure,
I might call your ass. Come on, Crisco, bring your little... Because I know you dyeing that beard.
No,
right
man,
there.
I just cut it low so you can't see the gray that much, man. We right here, man. We right here. Hey, Mike, again, I appreciate you taking time today. October 9th, tickets are available right now. Matter of fact, you can go to hiphoplegends.com and they can check out the trailer. They can get ready for it. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. God bless. October 9th, Hip Hop Party. Be there.